And for my NFL picks for Week 4, we're starting with the Kansas City Chiefs. They head up to Detroit to take on the Lions. And this will be the first time in the career of Patrick Mahomes that he plays inside of a dome. So you know that he's going to light up that scoreboard. I would not sit underneath that scoreboard in Detroit. You know Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs are going to light it up, especially considering that the Lions cornerbacks Darius Slay and Rashaan Melvin are not at full strength. They also play a zone defense, and then Patrick Mahomes is averaging 12.5 yards per attempt with 6 passing touchdowns when facing zone coverage. So those are best in the NFL numbers. And then Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they're going to light up Detroit. Give me the Chiefs big over Detroit, something like 42-21. 42-21 Chiefs. And next, a battle of 3-0 teams, Buffalo and New England. So the Patriots, they go up to Buffalo to take on the Bills and Josh Allen. So here's what you have to know. New England has won 17 consecutive games against first or second year starting quarterbacks, and that is what Josh Allen is. And Josh Allen, he likes to improvise, likes to get out of the pocket. Can he do this against this man-to-man defense that the Patriots use? So the Patriots, they're using man coverage 68% of the time. That's number one in the NFL. And Josh Allen averages just 6.6 yards per attempt against man compared to 8 versus the zone. So the Patriots, you know they're going to go into Buffalo and get a win. Give me the Patriots in that one. And then a battle of 2-1-2 teams. Atlanta, they host Tennessee, Titans, Falcons. And to me, I like the Atlanta Falcons in this one. You saw what Gardner Minshew was able to do against this Tennessee secondary. And then Marcus Mariota and that Tennessee offense has not looked sharp. I think Atlanta, they get it done. Julio Jones has caught a touchdown in 7 consecutive games. That's the longest active streak in the NFL. Calvin Ridley, he's been dealing with a hip injury, but he's starting to get healthy. Give me ATL at home. I got the Falcons in that one. And next, the Browns head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Now, this will be the best pass rush that Baltimore has faced all season long. Myles Garrett and company can do work on that line. And how will that impact Lamar Jackson? He's averaging 99 yards per game on the ground. Will this impact his decision to pull it and run? He says he'd rather be a passer, said he hates the run. But to me, it's going to come down to this Baltimore defense and this blitz-happy defense. This Ravens defense, they blitzed on 47% of opposing quarterback dropbacks this season. That's the highest mark in the NFL. They have the 4th best pass rush win rate, so they get to the quarterback. And with Baker Mayfield has not found it this year, has really had a very slow start, struggled a lot early on. I think Baltimore gets it done. And next, the 1-2 Carolina Panthers, they go into Houston to take on the 2-1 Texans. And to me, I like the Texans in this one. The Texans have not given up 100 yards rushing to a back since Week 17 of the 2017 season. I think the defense is going to bottle up Christian McCaffrey enough for Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins to make plays on offense. This Panthers defense, they're using zone coverage on 72% of its snaps in 2019. That's the second highest rate in the NFL, and the unit is giving up a league-low 4.6 yards per play. But the Texans at home, Kyle Allen, a second time starting for the Carolina Panthers. I like the Texans in that one. And next, the Colts host the Raiders. Derek Carr has the 3rd highest completion percentage in the NFL, 73.5%, but he also is averaging just 7.1 yards per attempt. That's 31st in the NFL. I think this Colts D-line is going to get after him. Josh Jacobs and that Raider running game has really slowed down. I'm taking the Colts over the Raiders at home. And next, the Miami Dolphins, they host the San Diego, check that, Los Angeles Chargers. They'll always be the San Diego Chargers to me. But the Dolphins are trying to avoid becoming the 3rd team to lose 4 consecutive games by 25-plus points or more since the 1954 Redskins. So they're trying to avoid that, and it's going to be difficult at home against Phillip Rivers coming off a loss at home to the Texans. You know they're going to want to get right in Miami, and look for Keenan Allen to have a big game. Last week, 13 catches, 183 yards, and this Miami secondary, they trade away Micah Fitzpatrick. They're very banged up. Maybe Josh Rosen can have some success, but I'm taking the Bolts against the Fins. I don't think it'll be 25 points or more, but the Bolts are going to win that one. And next, the Redskins go to New York to take on Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, and the New York Giants. Of course, Saquon Barkley is out, but you got a battle of the two worst pass defenses in the NFL. Defense will be optional in this one. The Redskins have given up more than 30 points in 3 consecutive games, and 4 straight would tie the team's single-season record set in 1954. I was just telling you about that one. I think at home, Daniel Jones and the Giants offense, they light up the Redskins unless we see Dwayne Haskins. I was saying we should see this as a perfect place for Dwayne Haskins to get his first start. I like the G-Men against the Skins at home. And next, the Rams host the Buccaneers. Now, this Rams offense, Todd McVay and company, has not been as explosive as we expected, and it's not going to be easy against this Buccaneer defense. Todd Bowles has this Buccaneer defense humming. They rank 3rd in the league against the run, giving up only 69.7 yards per game. I like the Rams at home. I also like the improvement of Jameis Winston. He leads the NFL with 10 completions into tight windows, and I think he's improved this year. I like the Buccaneers keeping it close, but look for the Rams to get that one done. And next, the Seattle Seahawks travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Now, the Seahawks, they dropped one at home against the Saints, so they're looking to go and get right against the Cardinals. And Kyler Murray has 137 pass attempts through his first 3 career games. That's the most by any player since the 1970 merger. And Mike Glennon's 181 attempts is the most through any player through the first 4 games. So if he throws tons in this game, he could make a run at that record. I think ultimately this Seahawks defensive line is going to get to Kyler Murray. And I think Russell Wilson, they'll score enough points on offense. I like the Seahawks beating the Cardinals on the road. And next, we got the Bears hosting the Vikings, an NFC North showdown. And the Bears defense, they've been great against the run. And the Vikings have the leading rusher in the NFL in Dalvin Cook. So Dalvin Cook, will he get that 100-yard game? It's unlikely. The Bears have only allowed one 100-yard rusher in regulation over their past 37 games. Good news for the Vikings, the last one to do it was Latavius Murray in Week 17 of the 2017 season. So that was a Viking. I like the Bears in this one. Their defense is special. Khalil Mack and company, they're going to get it done at home. I think, look, Mitch Trubisky, his play has been suspect at times, but he's only going to improve. I like Matt Nagy, them starting to establish the run. Give me the Bears at home in that one. Next, Jacksonville goes to Denver to take on the Broncos. Now, Gardner Minshew, he stepped on the scene, rocking those jorts at the UCLA-Washington State game. That could give him some extra luck. And this Broncos team, the only team in the NFL without registering a sack. I like the Broncos at home. They're so tough at Mile High. Gardner Minshew, he has 65 completions through 88 career pass attempts. Per Elias Sports Bureau, he needs only 6 completions in his first 12 attempts in Week 4 to set the NFL record for his first 100 pass attempts. Very efficient. I don't think they're going to go into Denver and get that win. Give me the Broncos at home in that one. And then next, the Dallas Cowboys. Are the Dallas Cowboys front runners to make it to the Super Bowl in the NFC? We'll find out more about that Sunday night. They go to New Orleans. They take on the 2-1 Saints. And the question, of course, for the Saints is, how will they fare in the absence of Drew Brees? Teddy Bridgewater, he got the win last week in Seattle. But the question is, can he start to get more out of Michael Thomas? And, of course, Alvin Kamara was a stud last week. But the Dallas Cowboys, Dallas is the only team to keep them both at 72 yards or fewer since Kamara's first season. So they do very well against Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. And then Dak Prescott, he's having an MVP season. Dak Prescott, number 1 in the NFL in total QBR at 90.4. He's second in the NFL with 9 touchdowns, only trailing Patrick Mahomes. Now the question is, will the Saints get to him? I think they will. Cameron Jordan and the Saints defensive line, they're going to get to Dak Prescott, who's only been sacked twice all season long. But in their past 5 home games, the Saints, 19 big sacks. I think Cameron Jordan and this much improved Saints defensive line gets to Dak Prescott. I think it'll be closer than the experts think. I think the Cowboys win it something like 26-20, something like that. But give me the Cowboys to win that one on the road. The road win for the boys in that one. And then finally, Monday Night Football, a battle of 0-3 teams. The 0-3 Saints, they host the 0-3 Bengals. Now, Andy Dalton, he ranks second in passing yards this season, 978 yards for Andy Dalton, and the Steelers have given up the second most pass yards in 908. So something's got to give there. But the Bengals, they do not protect the football. The Bengals, they're in a three-way tie with the 49ers and the Dolphins with 8 turnovers, last in the league. The Steelers, it comes down to them, and can they get James Conner going? James Conner, he's averaging 32.3 rush yards per game this season after averaging almost 75 last year. The Steelers are 1-7 when James Conner rushes for 60 yards or less. So they need to get it on the ground. Mason Rudolph needs to have a much better game. A rough start on the road in San Francisco, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers at home, I like them against the Cincinnati Bengals. They get it off to the schneid and steal. Well, those are my picks for Week 4 in the NFL. Give me your picks down below in the comments. I want to see who you guys got for all this weekend's biggest games, but